So you run a CrossFit gym, would you consider it a CrossFit gym?
So definitely one of the programs we offer is CrossFit.
Right, okay.
We've got a strength and conditioning program,
Yep.
which we use CrossFit methodology for. We've got a weightlifting program, and then a completely separate arm of the business is individual programming,
Right.
where somebody hires us as a coach for individual specific goals. But the reason why CrossFit works quite well is because it's a strength and conditioning program that's designed to get you to move well, feel good, get that balance between strength and fitness, live without pain, get out the gym and enjoy yourself. And because so many people want that same goal, it's a really good prescription to give out, and it's a really cost-effective way to get coaching.
So do you think CrossFit kind of ticks a lot of boxes with the kind of training that people are looking, or what they want to achieve? Do you think CrossFit is a way of making sure that you can achieve those goals?
Well, it takes the best bits of a lot of different sports. You get someone who does running. Well, it's long distance. You're just working on the engine, so it's only working on one domain out of 12 things of fitness.
Right.
Whereas CrossFit's like, right, I like the power and the endurance of rugby. I like the accuracy of maybe shooting a netball. And it takes all the different elements that make someone athletic. And rather than a sport having 2 or 3, we've got 12. So that's why people get really well-rounded fitness, and we're able to teach them new skills, because skills build skills.
Yeah, the magic is to be a well-rounded athlete.
Yeah.
And if you want that as a goal, then great, CrossFit's designed for that. If you want to be a ultra marathon runner, then you need to specialise in something more towards
specific to that.
Exactly.
So that's if you've got like a specific goal, CrossFit might not be right for you?
No, definitely not. It's good for the general, we call it Gen Pop, the general population that just want a well-rounded strength and conditioning program. And the reason why that works quite well is because as soon as you move outside of that, you skew. So Mo Farah may be super fit,
Sure.
but he's definitely not strong.
No.
And a dad at 40 would go, well, yeah, Mo Farah's fit, but actually I want to pick my kids up.
Yeah.
Or on the flip side, you see like an Icelandic strongman, super strong, can't walk up the stairs.
Sure.
And again, people are saying, well, I like being strong, but actually I want to go for a walk with my family.
Yeah.
So CrossFit's that well-rounded piece in the middle that doesn't skew to anything. And maybe that's why it's misunderstood as a program. Does that make sense?
Yeah, Catherine, with CrossFit obviously becoming so popular, how is it popular with women? Because is that something that you get more women in, or is it guys? Which one, and why is it you think that they find it quite an interesting thing to get started with?
I think a lot of people come to us and they've kind of had a sports background, so they have a competitive edge, they were quite skillful. You've got the other end of the spectrum where they've never played a sport and always wanted to take part. Well, with this, we get to give them that team camaraderie experience built into the fitness. So you seem to attract a lot of different people. But one thing they all have in common is everyone likes to work really hard. People are here to commit themselves to become the best. What you won't find is people who come to the gym to tick a to-do list.
Yeah, sure.
Like, it's not that sort of place. Like, people put their heart and soul into each class, I think.
But there's definitely more women than men in the program.
Yeah, because I think women are okay with having a coach work with them and say, this isn't correct, you haven't been doing this right, we can make you better if you try it this way. And I think a lot of guys have been doing fitness or lifting for so long, they think they know what they're doing.
They get into a rut as well, don't they?
Yeah. And I think that makes them feel like they need us less, but the difference between having a coach and not being a coach is pretty significant.
Sure.
Because you can tweak a lot, and everyone's going to be pretty individual as well.
Yeah, because like the training I've been doing on my own for 10 years, and then really the first time I've had a PT session was with you, and it was great. And I feel now I've been missing out on having that help,
Thank you.
to begin with, because had I had that help, I don't know where I'd be now, So I mean, in terms of like recommended, obviously, like, expert coaches, what are the benefits you'd say really to have that, as opposed to just going in, doing what you've seen online and seeing what happens?
Okay, so Okay, there's a lot. So there's a lot there. Okay, so what you've been doing is training, and there's a differential in that. And so what men tend to do is they tend to take two training methodologies: strength training, bench Monday, back Tuesday, bicep Wednesday, and they just repeat it.
It's in my routine then.
Yeah, it's just the same week in, week out, year after year. And actually, as you become a more advanced athlete, you should be periodizing that program more and more. But anyway, they just do strength training, or MIMALs, middle-aged men in lycra, they just do cardio. So, again, it's a training program. They're building up for a triathlon or a marathon or something else that's just cardio based. So men tend to sit in two training programs: weight training, fitness training. CrossFit is a training program that's designed to be in the middle. It's got progression in it, and it's a good blend. Where women sit is to the side, where they tend to do exercising. So actually women come in with a better background sometimes, because they've done spin, legs, bums and tums, body pump, and that's just Monday. Wednesday they're doing a bit of running, and so they're training a lot, and their volume's high, but they're just exercising without intent. And so there's a difference between a training methodology and a training program and an exercise program. So CrossFit is a training program that they identify with, because for the first time in their life they're being coached, they're not being instructed, and it resonates with men because it's that gap between what they're already doing.
You want to outrun a lifter and outlift a runner, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And I think where we fit in as CrossFit coaches is we're good with working with the general population. We've done it for years. We've got tens of thousands of hours doing it. And if Mo Farah walked in and said, "Nate, can you make me run faster?" I'll go, "Well, I don't know, I'm not a running coach." If a professional footballer came in and said, "Can you work on my penalties?" I'd say no, because I'm not a football coach. I don't specialise in that. What I specialise in is 40-year-olds that sit down too much, that have desk jobs, that want to move well, like move without pain, and just
general fitness.
Just have general well-rounded fitness. But that in itself is its own program.
Catherine, would you say then that if guys are more stuck in this rut of not having a coach, are women easier then when they come in? Are they slightly more open to the idea of that, or what do you think?
Oh man. Excluding my husband, you are very coachable. I think if people come in with an open mind and they have a goal, be it fitness, to improve their technique, to enter a bodybuilding show, like there are things that we can fine tune and make sure that they're effectively achieving within the session, be it a class or a one-to-one. I think you get Nathan's type. Been lifting for ages. It's really difficult to help someone who doesn't want help but's asking for help.
And so stuck in that as well.
Absolutely.
So I guess it's down to personality as opposed to anything else.
Coachability.
Coachability,
Anybody can come in, and I can help a lot of different types, because you get the rugby players. They've got that slanted shoulder where they were in the scrum, tight hips, tight ankles, hamstrings might not fire, very quad and lower back dominant. You get people that have been doing horseback riding or running, really tight hips, tight psoas, not able to engage their glutes or their core. You see a lot of different patterns.
Or just people that have not done anything.
Those people usually have less problems. They haven't hurt themselves.
But again, they fall in that same category. They fall in that same category of being kind of general population. They just want to move well, feel good, be stronger, fitter, less body fat. They don't say I want to do an ultra marathon. But you're absolutely right. It's down to personality type. So CrossFit is not ideal for everyone. You need to be hungry and you need to be humble. And if you don't like being told what to do,
and patient.
And if you don't like being told what to do, then it's not for you. And unfortunately, a lot of guys are like that.
But surely the longer you've been doing it, the more patience you must have. Do you think?
Well, both from a...
Because I would always say that, because if people come up to me and say, like, what should I get started on? Like, why am I not seeing results? Like, then they're not patient.
Yes.
Or inconsistent.
Or the training program's not specific for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So even we have coaches. and we're coaches ourselves.
It's less of a pyramid. It's more of a circle looking after each other, having someone fill the gaps in your fitness.
Yeah, and I think that sometimes people just aren't doing things appropriately. So if you're plateauing out and your bench press isn't going up, it's just because you don't know the correct stimulus.
Yeah, I don't know how to go about getting out of that.
Yeah. Exactly. And so CrossFit, it sits in this middle kind of grey area. It's really cementing itself now, but bodybuilders don't look at it and say, wow, what a great program. Because we kind of take bits out of the bodybuilding area.
But there should be as well, because bodybuilding isolates every single muscle group, doesn't it? So lots of different programs are taking bits out of that, surely, you know. So.
Yeah, and so it's weird, you know, like in the fitness industry, you get bodybuilders not liking powerlifters, or powerlifters not liking weightlifters, and weightlifters not liking CrossFitters, and CrossFit.
And everyone hating CrossFit.
It's kind of weird. Like we're all in the small minority. We all love lifting barbells. The differential is just how we do it, and so there shouldn't be any resentment to any other group. Bodybuilders train the way they train because they've got a specific goal, which is to look good.
Yeah.
Powerlifters, it's 1 rep max. CrossFit, it's overall strength and wellness. And so people are going to lift differently because they've got different goals.
But then an effect of CrossFit is also appearance as well. Would you say that?
But it's not the primary purpose.
No, it's not. But it is an outcome as well. I mean, people that do a lot of CrossFitting some could even look like bodybuilders. Some of them, you know, they look fantastic, you know. So it's probably something that they might consider as well. Especially
as you get into the competitions and you start throwing around with competitive athletes because your body fat needs to be low because there's quite a lot of gymnastics and body weight conditioning. So being heavy with excess body fat doesn't do you
doesn't
any
make sense.
Doesn't make sense. But the program, if you walk down into a rugby club and you look across the rugby club, you'll say, okay, these guys are in good shape. They're not in good shape because they're there to get in good shape and they play rugby from it. They play rugby. And because they play rugby 3-4 times a week, they're in good shape.
Sure, yeah.
But to answer your question, you said, does CrossFit make people look good? Is that an outcome? Yes. So people sign up because they want to look good.
Sure.
Then they transition their focus on to making themselves the project.
Because that's always everyone's in a gym.
Yeah.
Typically because they don't like the way they look.
Yeah. Or how they feel.
I think that usually comes first, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then it's like, I think when people say, I can actually feel better out of this. I think people look in the mirror, they don't know how they could be later in terms of flexibility and, you know, their motivation. You know, they're only going to look at it like I'm overweight or, you know, I want to look stronger, you know, that type of thing. So I imagine there's parts of it there as well.
Yeah, so we work, so Kat works with all the new clients coming in, and so we're really fortunate. We've got a 3D body scanner. That takes a 3D image of you and it gives you a 3D clay image of exactly what you look like, and then we can scan you again 6 months into your journey and we can compare the two. And we really bought that because that's why people do walk into our gym. Ironically, we're a performance gym, and as performance coaches I would never take on a fitness model as a client. So for me as a performance coach, and I've had inquiries before, somebody's got a bikini competition coming up, but I work with them. The answer is no. One, there's better coaches out there than me, because that's not what I specialise in. And secondly, I just don't like the idea of working with a client where their goal is to look good in front of other people. I want you to feel good about yourself, feel good about what you can achieve, and let that empower you, and let that be your self-worth. But like you say, people walk in because they don't like the way they look.
Sure.
And so we scan them.
I think that might be a reason, the reason they come in the front door kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then they find out after they start feeling better on the inside, then that's what motivates them further. And it becomes less about looking good as opposed to feeling good.
It's quite stressful chasing a look. For me, personally, I felt really stressed out, not feeling like things changed enough or fast enough, and you do become impatient because you know how much work you're putting into it. But when you focus on the process instead of the end point, and make it more about the journey of who you're becoming, it's a lot easier to achieve the results and appreciate the results, and they become natural, if that makes sense. It becomes secondary because you're enjoying the process.
Yeah.
Because the fact of the matter is, it's never going to be good enough. I'm never going to be who I want to be. It will be a lifelong journey of becoming Catherine.
Yeah.
And in 5 years' time, I'm going to be more fit than I am now. Older, but a better version of myself. And so if I settle, I don't know, it just doesn't do me justice.
You always need to be chasing.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I get bored.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think if your goal is to look a certain way, then you can't give yourself a pat on the back every day.
Oh, absolutely.
Because your goal is, I want to look like this model or this celebrity or this fitness model. Whereas if your goal's more performance driven, then if it's a hole that you're digging, at least every day you can at least take a teaspoon out. You can always move towards that goal, and you can measure that goal a lot easier. So for you, when you're coming in and you're saying, I've done a lot of bodybuilding in my past or a lot of bench press. Okay, great. Well, let's test it, and then let's build it to make sure that you are getting stronger. And now you have a goal around bench pressing versus just trying to look a certain way.
Absolutely. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.